This is where you get your pickles from. This is cucumbers. So we've got, you come out here, you just clip them. Where'd that big one go? Here's one. And put them in your bucket. We're making bread and butter chips. And I like them with this little scalloped edge on them. I can't do that with a regular knife, so I have a mandolin here. So it just is so simple. You just take your cucumber, take the two ends off, put it flat against the board, and run it through. When you get to the bottom, move your fingers up. It bites. And you have perfect sliced cucumbers. And we wanted 12 cups. So this is 8 cups, this is 4 cups.
Great.
Okay, next step, we have to brine the cucumber chips. So we have to brine them for about 2 hours, and brining means soaking in a salt solution. So in here we have one whole sweet onion that I've run through the mandolin as well. We have our 12 cups of cucumber chips. We have a half a cup of canning salt, and then we're going to cover this with cold water and just leave it alone.
2 hours.
2 hours. Okay. Now here's our 12 cups of cucumber chips with onion that have been brining for 2 hours. Now we need to drain them and rinse them off. I'm using this, which is the Ball Home Preserving Cookbook, which has all the recipes that are that you'll ever want to know. And as you use them year after year, you're going to want to change them, change a few things. So this one calls for 3 cups of white vinegar. So instead I use 2 cups of white and 1 cup of apple cider because it adds another little tang. But you're still getting 3 cups of vinegar into a solution of 2 cups of sugar, 1 teaspoon of turmeric, 1 teaspoon of celery seed, 2 tablespoons of mustard seed, 1 teaspoon of granulated garlic. And we're gonna put this in and cook it until this dissolves. It'll happen pretty fast. Okay, now we need to have sterilized jars and lids. Sterilize your lids, put them in a bowl, heat up a tea kettle of boiling water, pour it over it. Now they're good to go. Next, this is the best way to do your jars. 200-degree oven for 10 minutes, and they're perfectly done.
Sterilized.
Sterilized. Way easier than anything else. Okay, now, this liquid has been brought to a boil. All the sugar has dissolved. Now we're going to add all of our cucumbers and onions and bits to the syrup. And then I'm going to bring it to a boil once again. Now, other thing we've done in our water bath canner, this is a water bath canner, we have filled it with hot water and turned it on. So now it's up to a simmer, because when you hot pack your chips, you want them to go in, and then you start it boiling, and then you process it for 10 minutes once it's gone and gotten up to a boil. A lot of problems that people have is they have soggy pickles. They're not crispy and crunchy. This is what you put in to make them crispy and crunchy. Okay? And you just take 1/8 of a teaspoon, which is not a lot. And what it does, you're going to put that in the bottom of each container. Now, it says it makes 6, but I always make an extra, just in case I have more than I think. It's always better to have too many jars than to not have enough jars. Okay, that's done. Okay, Now we're going to pack our jars. And you want to pack them to within a 1/2 inch of the top, because as they cook, they will expand a little bit. This is the most important thing you'll ever have. This is a wide mouth funnel. Fits right there, so that when you take your spoonful of your hot pickles, it goes right in. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful tool. Okay. So we've hot packed our jars. Now we're going to put our pickling liquid in each jar. Okay? And it's hot. And you know how I said it would make 6 pints? Made 7. So I was very happy that I had prepped that extra jar. When I made them the other day, it only made 6. So you just never know.
How high do you fill it?
To within a 1/2 inch of the rim. Get ready to seal them, and you've dripped, everybody does, around the edge. So you want to make sure you get a clean seal. So you want to take a paper towel, dip it with vinegar, a little white vinegar there, and take that. And then just run your paper towel around the lid. And this will hopefully ensure that you get a good seal. Because even just a little bit of the sticky, syrupy sweetness will prevent it from sealing. And you've gone to all this work. Okay, so now it's time to put the lids on. So have this little gizmo with the magnet on the end. Remember we took and we put boiling water on this. Okay, there's one. Don't worry about the water on the top. It's going into a water bath, so it doesn't matter. So, and these have been in boiling hot water. Okay, those are done, so we can. Last part is the ring. The ring goes on till it's just finger tight, and then one more. And that one went on the floor. You want to make sure that your water is at least 1 inch, 1/2 inch to 1 inch above the top of your jar. The lid goes on. There. And in about a couple of minutes, it will start boiling. And that's when you start your timer for 10 minutes. Okay, it has processed for 10 minutes. At the end of the 10 minutes, you take the lid off, you turn the heat off, and you let them sit in there for 5 minutes. And after that, all the bubbling is all done and it's all calmed down. Now we're going to remove them one by one, being very careful to hold them vertical the whole time. Don't worry about the water on the top of the lid. It will evaporate away. You want to ensure that your seal stays sealed. And if you tip it to the side, you could cause, an issue there. They're already popping. Whoop, there we go. So that's how you know you have a good seal. We don't know which one that was. Okay. So all the hard work's done. Now comes the fun part. Other than eating them, we're not going to remember exactly when we made these. So we have these little labels, and they say Ellis Edibles, Bread and Butter Pickles 2023. And so we know when we made them, and we know what they are. They're not dill, they're bread and butter pickles. And all we have to do now is eat them.